Hello and good afternoon. Welcome to the National Gallery of Jamaica, and thank you for tuning in to our panel discussion event entitled Charting Changes, a reasoning about narrative styles, directorship in dancehall music videos of the 80s and 90s. It's a mouthful, but I am sure that the information that you'll be hearing today will be valuable and hopefully entertaining given the panel selection that we have today. And I just want to use this moment to just highlight two things. One, thank you so much to our beautiful moderator, Dr. Sonia Stanley Naya. I really messed up your name for a minute there. But Dr. Naya has been so gracious to accept an invitation from us to host this panel this afternoon. I also want to mention that the event is being held in association with the Jamaica exhibition, which is now open at the National Gallery of Jamaica. We're open from Tuesdays to Saturdays. The exhibition will be up tomorrow, Saturday, and on next week, Monday, the 28th of February, which is the last day for viewing. So please check out all our social media, our blog, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram for more details on that. And of course, you can call us and email us. Now, at this point, I don't want to spend too much time chatting here because the more important people are here to my right. So Dr. Naya, I'm going to turn over to you at this point. Thank you so much. Thank you, panelists, for coming as well. And to our viewers, thank you for tuning in.
Thank you very much, Monique. It is my pleasure to be here with you. I want to emphasize that we are in the hallowed grounds of the National Gallery. The Jamaica exhibition is very much up and it's going to close on the 28th. So please, if you haven't seen it, come on down. It's going to teach you a lot about Jamaican music and the history of our music. So we're here for the discussion of charting changes, a reasoning about narrative styles and directorship in dancehall music videos of the 1980s and 1990s. And I cannot tell you how much of a pleasure it is for me to be here talking to our guests. And I'm going to introduce them. They say age before beauty, so I'm going to start with Leo Origio. Leo is one of the founding fathers of music video productions in Jamaica and was responsible for the majority of music videos produced in the 1980s and 1990s. And of course, we're going to be talking about the 80s and 90s. His professional career spans a whole heap of things: conceptualizing, directing, editing, and producing at Jamaica Broadcasting Corporation, JBC-TV, GIS-TV, the National Family Planning Board, among others. He did postgraduate communication studies at the University of the West Indies and technical training in dramatization of health communications at the RNTC in Holland, and advances in health communications at the Center for Communication Studies, Johns Hopkins University in the USA. This year, he celebrates 45 years in television productions. And we want to congratulate him for that because he's one of our stalwarts. Absolutely. Clap, clap, clap. Yes, indeed. So next I want to introduce to you Rascasa. Now, if you don't know Leo Origio because he's been behind the camera, certainly Rascasa has been behind the camera, but a bit more, let's say, public, and I love him dearly. Rascasa is the owner and CEO of Heinz Group. Rascasa is no stranger to the world of television, film, and music video. He co-founded the first Jamaican cable station, Music Plus, and was a creative consultant for local networks, Jamaica News Network, and Reggae Entertainment Television, RETV. Casa has, to his credit, over 100 music videos, including working with artists such as Willie Nelson, Nas, Damian Marley. His work has been featured on international networks such as MTV, BET, VH1, CNN, BBC, and the Country Music Channel. You can't want no more than that, you know, because when your work is professionally done, it speaks for itself. In 2012, Rascasa, of course, was commissioned by the Jamaican government to conceptualize and direct a music video commemorating the nation's 50th year of independence. So also receiving very much national recognition there. I want to now introduce to you our last panelist, Garth Daly. And can I tell you, I was mixing up Garth with other people, but Garth is Garth. Of course. And he's a graduate of the Edna Malley College of the Visual and Performing Arts. He's a filmmaker who has been in the industry for 15 years. He has collaborated with a number of key video production entities based in Jamaica, including Simba Productions Limited and RJR Group. He has also edited and directed many local videos, music videos, television commercials, documentaries, and short films. More recently, he has been lecturing in the film department at Carimac at the UWI, which of course is where I work. You all will know that I am a child of the University of the West Indies. Studied there, worked there. I'm the former head of the Institute of Caribbean Studies and the Reggae Studies unit. Of course, I must mention before we go into our very first question, this is Reggae Month, and we celebrate along with the government of Jamaica and the organizations such as Jaria, who are very much carrying this mantle. Reggae Month is about celebrating our reggae icons, our musicians, and the legacy that we have in Jamaican music. And I see Mr. Herbie Miller, who is here with us. I want to big him up because he is the architect behind a lot of what we know to be the Jamaica Music Museum and, of course, the Jamaica exhibition, which is now on at the National Gallery. Did I say you are to come down and view? Yes, you are to come down and see Jamaica. So let me throw the first question to you, panelists. I know what my definition of dancehall is, but how would you describe dancehall? What is dancehall? For those who are watching, listening, who may not know, what is dancehall?
Well, for me, dancehall is a lifestyle, It's not even a music. It's a lifestyle because at my age, I enjoyed the 70s. Not the 60s because I was still in school then. But in the 70s, I used to go to the dance, and that was a whole. It wasn't just music. It's just a lifestyle, all the things that went surrounded it, the people, how they dressed, how they behaved, the type of sound systems that they had. And even the sound system themselves, it was different from even in the 80s. Because in the 70s, you didn't have many DJs in the dance. You had mostly like selectors, the selector mixer, playing the dubs. It was all about dub in the dance. When it wasn't special. Special in the 70s was dubbing. So, and I see the transition into the 80s to the 90s, and it just convinced me that dancehall is really a lifestyle more than just a music.
I want to say 100%. That's exactly what it is for me too. And I actually separate those words because there are two words that make up lifestyle. Dancehall is life and style. And that's one of the things that we're talking about today, right? But tell me, what are you thinking in terms of dancehall? What is dancehall for you?
Check. I mean, I can say so much things, and I was thinking about it, and there's just one word that just keep jumping up in my mind. It's magical. It is magical. It is something that I think we need to really look at what we have and love it, because if you step back for a minute outside of Jamaica and our little foolishness we have going on with politics and so on, we realize that dancehall music and the culture is something that take you over, and it take over the world. And on that point, I just want to say this, because on social media they were talking about dancehall get the crowd, but the records are not selling. Which camera should I look in? Because I want to address this. I believe because Bob Marley and Peter Tosh and all the others were changing the world with their music, I believe the system have a ban on us to make sure we're always, all of these platforms, we are always in a lower tier of ratings in terms of sales and fans and all of these things. I believe
But we're gonna get back to that tricky political issue.
Hold
on. Let's go to Garth. Let me hear your definition of dancehall.
Well, good afternoon, everybody. Well, in listening to my What I was going to say elders a while ago. I don't know who the gentleman feels.
Yes, man.
Cool. I just putting that one out there. But I think dancehall is a sound. My first introduction to dancehall was really a sound. I'm from a home that is predominantly Christian. For me to really get to dancehall, it came to me. Traveling, hearing a sound, hearing the drum and the bass together. That was the first thing that traveled, that entered me. And then that is actually what I found started to carve. What is it I want to do creatively, artistically? So the sound of it, for me, dancehall is just that, and it predominantly is what guides even the culture and the style and the life.
So we have heard that dancehall is a lifestyle. We have heard that dancehall is magical. We have heard that dancehall is life and style. And we have heard that dancehall is a sound traveling across the waves into Garth's life. Now, all of those things are captured very beautifully, aesthetically pleasing mostly, in the whole product that is a music video. And I want to ask each of you now to tell us, how did you come to be engaging in this business of production of music videos, or any kind of videos for that matter? How did you come to be a part of this business?
Well, for me, I worked at JBC in the 70s. I joined JBC in 1977. And JBC was like a powerhouse for local productions back then. But it was mainly in the studio. And I remember once I went to a recording in the studio, and it was Pablo Moses and the Revolutionaries were performing there, because they used to do a lot of live recording and so on. And I was just, as Rascasa said, it was just magical to me seeing them perform, you know. And it's right there, the video thing just hit me. I said, you know, this is what I want to do. I want to get into filming these local acts, you know. There wasn't access really for that, so I had to create my own way to do it. Of course, I got a lot of lessons. I learned a lot at JBC because they had really nice, really good producers and directors. Freddie Burrows, people like those, you know. Tony Robinson, who is still doing them thing. I watched them and I observed a lot and I learned a lot, you know. And even because I wasn't in productions at JBC, I was in the technical era. I was in the master control, programming. But we also had to do like camera control and a lot of technical stuff I learned, you know. And from there I just started creating my own thing, you know, finding ways to get a camera to go down the road and do some things. Because at that time, we had one station, music video would never existed, you know. You had the corporate companies, you know, like Media Mix and those people, but they were doing commercials. You know, no one was doing videos, music videos as a matter of fact, because remember then, they looked down on the music. So
Boogie music.
Right, so there was no interest in doing that. So what I did was I provided the access for the youth to get the videos done. But even when we did the videos, up until 1984, there was not much we could do with them, because JBC wasn't playing them, you know. They didn't have cable station then. So what I did, because I was a master controller at JBC, and a master controller is the person who, you get the program and you hear it. So what I used to do is every now and then I just slip in a clip from a music video, you know? And I mean, I got help for that, but it helped to grow. But what really spawned the whole music video thing now on television was when I did Minibus with General Trees. That just, I mean, it just, JB started saying, oh, want some videos, you know. And we started using videos now as fillers. You know, like when there was any dead air or so, or if the program ended before the time.
Those of you who are not here in the 80s to remember these moments, you know, I don't even know how you're going to even see the footage now and have any memory of this. YouTube, right? But your life, half your life gone. Those of us here can reminisce about this with joy.
So that's how I really got into it.
Pastor?
Well, for me is so I used to DJ before. So don't try to look for anything. There's no video, okay? so I used to DJ and we got invited down to this go-go club to come and DJ. So me and my brethren them go on there, and when we reach, the man them security decides, say, well, no, you're not coming in. We don't look like DJs. So we went down to another dance, and I buck up the late Trevor Bailey, and he invited us to come by his studio. And we go by the studio, and I'm recording songs and so on. And then he said, oh, can you come by tomorrow and help me out? I have a shoot with Althea and Donna featuring Papa San. They did a remix of Simmer Down. So I went on the set, and I was in front of the camera, and I was like, what is this? This is crazy. And I was like, wow. So I started with Trevor, and that first music video just piqued my attention. And then Trevor said to me, oh yeah, what is video name? Shocking Out. Yeah. I think Trevor did that video, and he told me how long it took him to get that lightning strike thing. You're right. And I was like, what? So I started to figure if Moses really did part the Red Sea with his rod, I think a camera is greater because it's going to capture your image and it's going to be there for a longer time. So I was just taken by the whole thing, and I was like, this is it. This is it. I didn't want to be a director though, because I was still a DJ, but I just loved the idea of working on set and so forth.
Well, I don't know how long that DJ life of yours lasted, because I certainly have never heard of this, Rascasa. You're telling tour stories out of school here.
I don't even want to tell you about no song or not for you to Google it. I don't know what I was doing.
So Garth, tell us how you got involved in this music video production life.
I'm going to pick up where he left off.
You was a DJ too?
No, hold on, pause. Okay, so I think my introduction to or that seed was actually planted from a long time watching television, watching JBC. That general tree
General trees.
I remembered it clearly, and what I remembered it was a green bus. But watching the television, what I would usually do was that I would usually act out what was going on the television. So the magical thing happened in 1989 when CVM came on the scene. And they didn't have a run of the shows. They just played music videos from night straight till morning. It could be African, it was local, it was from all genres. And consuming all type of music videos, even stuff that Mr. Origio did. And I decided that, okay, that is somewhere where I wanted to go, but I didn't know how to get there. How I got there was that there was a particular music video I saw, and there was this man on it, DJing, and him said, give me my cane, you can be my one and only, I never leave you to the motherland.
Why?
Right.
Why? He's talking about a video I made and a song. Why you have to do that?
No, but you never come in. You never come in.
He says he's picking up where you left off,
All right,
Casa.
continue.
All right, so I saw that, and then I said to myself, years later, I saw him again. And he said what he did involved drama, music, dance, and art. All four things I love to do. So when I was in sixth form at Woolmer's, didn't know where to go.
You go a good school, man.
So the thing is, a lot of my friends were going to UA, UTech. I didn't know where to go. And after watching that interview, I decided that that's what I wanted to do. After I told my mother, though, she was trying to figure out.
I'm sure she was traumatized.
What is video directing? But then I started to just search. And my first music video was with Stafford Asani,
God rest his soul.
I was at Edna Manley, a friend of mine said, hey, we're going to do this music video, got you one forward, and I went. But everybody was standing behind. I was right beside him, and he was directing and doing. And at the time, I didn't know what I wanted to do, but I found out that this is where I wanted to be. So from 2005, 6 till now, that's what has followed.
What you've been doing.
That's what I've been doing.
Fantastic. And I'm so happy that our viewers are able to kind of just get inside in a kind of intimate way and behind the stories, behind the pictures of you all that they can see, you know, knowing a little bit more about how you got involved in this business. So the music video as a product is one that involves the imagination. It involves a script. It involves a certain kind of aesthetics, narrative style, directorship, and film directing and so on. What is the most important thing for you prior to recording, prior to getting involved on a set? What's the most important thing for you in the context of a job that you've got, all right? You have been engaged by Grace Kennedy or by Papa San or to do a music video. What's the most critical thing for you in that job?
Well, for me, it's always the song, the music first, and then the budget second. And the reason why the budget should actually come first, but for me, I always want to. Okay, so I don't care how you judge my work now. This generation who is living with me, I'm concerned about the generation that is not born yet. So I always want to do something that is good and make a music video for a song that I think is good, right? So the song is always the first thing, because I'm always going, where they will drop off the CD and I go, oh Lord have mercy, please, 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 please. And then I will jump in my car and I say, okay, I'm gonna drive down to Ochi and listen to this one song and drive back. And I was like, all right, put it in, turn it up, okay. All right, this is good. Yeah, yeah. So the music is the first thing for me before we can do anything else. Yeah.
Leo?
Well, my thing's kind of different because as I said, I'm coming from an era when there was no budget and these things, that kind of talk. I used to do music videos just for the fun of it,
Right.
you know, because there was no market for music videos. So after I did a couple, if I heard a song on the radio that I like, I just find the artist and say, you know, someone do a video for the song, you know.
So you were the instigator.
Right, so what I'll do is now, when I get the song, I listen to it, and whatever vibes I get, you know, I didn't write any script or anything, but I had an idea of what I wanted to do. But because there were no resources, no budget or anything, my work was really a kind of synergy with the artist, meaning that, listen, okay, we don't have any money, so listen, I can get the camera, because back in them days, it's not like, no, it was just me and the cameraman. I was grip everything. I never operate the camera, because to me, camera work is an art. I never mastered that. So I'd get my cameraman, and we just hit the road. And the good thing about those days that most of the songs were stories. So, you know, you could easily visualize how you're going to do it, you know. And so that basically for me is just visualizing what you want to do first, you know. Even though sometimes what you visualize, for me, when we went out to shoot, half of the time we just go with the flow, because you might be on location and you get the vibes. And you just do that, you know. But at the same time, you have to be I'm coming from the film days, you have to be very precise with your shooting.
Mm-hmm.
So like, all of my videos are usually done in one day. And when you look at the video, you'd never believe it. Because we just manage the time properly, get what we want to do. You know, some people want 6 different angles for one shot. Never read into that. Yeah, you just know the key shot where you need or the key angle.
Precision.
Right, and you just move on, you know. Make sure you sound all right, because I say from film days, sound and the visuals was sacrosanct. You had to be, you know. You
Sound and
can't go on a
visuals.
shoot and talk, but you know, so the sound never right. People dead for that. You know what I mean? So yeah, but as in terms of what you're saying now, the first thing is to just visualize the song.
Visualize the
Yeah.
song. Garth?
Actually, both men said that the most important or the pivotal thing, but I'm going to go to a different thing and say vibes. You can listen to a song, and the song itself actually does not. You can't resonate with it. Sometimes you will hear that song, and you will go, okay. In trying to visualize it, you're trying to turn on the TV, and you're trying to find a visual. And just like those TVs back then, you know, you're turning till you find the station. So the thing is that you have to spend time in trying to find that inspiration by giving yourself time to listen to it and understand it. And just may segue in just for a little bit, but a lot of persons in Jamaica don't even understand that in itself is a job, it's an art, and it's an activity that is pivotal to the product. Because just as you said, it's a product. So just as how you would make the cornflakes, put it in a packet, put it in a box, put the one inside and send it out, I have to make sure that the DNA of that song is shown to that viewer, that they're able to go, you know what? I'm going to buy that tune there. I'm going to go to dance there. I'm going to follow the artist there. So inspiration. I've walked from halfway tree to from Papine to halfway tree just listen to one song. And if I want dance, I dance. And if I want to cry, I cry. But then I carry it right back to, I carry it right back to,
Yes,
to the music video.
We cry, men and women, we cry.
I want to
So,
I want to say something about that as well. I just want to sneak the scene that I find myself in a situation where, because of, let's say, you know, okay, Garth is the artist and Garth been coming to me, and now we're on to video number 5 or video number 6 now. But video number 6, the song not so good. I will sneak off and go listen to another song and get the concept from that song, and I would apply it to this song. I'm not going to tell you which.
Just, you know, my mother is in the audience,
cheating.
but I know it's cheating. It's like watching some porn, really, just to kind of get some inspiration, really, isn't it?
Well, it's cheating.
It's cheating.
But you know, it is something where even writing my concepts, where it was a nightmare when I did that back in the day, because you talk about precise. My concept is something like this. Video open with shot moving from left to right as whatever crossing the street. Then camera punch in, this, that's too much. You don't write that. So I have to get people now who I have to direct them to say, look, this is camera vibe, this is my vibe, exactly what I want. But I want you to shrink it into a novel and make it nice to their ears. And I said, each, depending on the artist, you have to choose your words. You don't use certain words with certain artists. So I didn't know how to shrink my pan to the left, then explosion, boom. No, it was too much. So before I used to have 15 pages. Treatments are 2 pages. Where am I going with 15 pages? This
Who's gonna read that?
Yeah, exactly. You know, so it was.
Yeah.
So I had to bring people in for that. I didn't know how to do that.
So adapting and changing, even as we were directing.
Yeah.
So I want to take us back to the 80s. You know, this age for me when I was a little girl in high school, and the music took a hold in my bones. And I think about artists like Professor Nuts, Admiral Bailey, Shabba Ranks. You know, we talked about General Trees before, with all the kind of, you know, just narratives and the stories they told. And I remember I was listening recently to Nuff Mandela. Want to remember that?
Of course.
Professor Nuts, now me taking a dance down in Manchester. I think it was sometime last November when me go in at the dance, me say, what is higher? Same time my brethren come ask me what. I mean to say, that song, if you don't know that song, guys, who are viewing us, just go Google it. Yeah. Professor Nuts, Nuff Man there. Now that song tells a massive story. And I can just imagine the kind of thinking that would have gone into the making of that music video. So I want us to take us back to the 80s. What kind of videos were you producing? You've mentioned some of them. But also, what were the aesthetic qualities of those music videos compared to the 1990s, for example, compared to now? Let's do some comparison.
Yeah, well, as I said, in the 80s, we had no reference point. We were just doing our own thing, how we saw it fit. And the thing about the 80s is that it was a joyous times because those days, people were just happy to participate in a video shoot. And as I said, because we didn't have a budget, what we did was, I would say to the artist, all right, listen, I provide the equipment. You find the talent. Once you decide what we're going to do, you find the talent and da. And so a lot of times, the shoots were just like a party. That's why I'm saying, like, when I was doing videos in the 80s, it's not like now, the budget and a script and makeup and all them something there. We just go to the camera, and as I said, it was easy because the songs were stories. So it was easy to tell the story, and in terms of the aesthetics, like for me, I remember back in them days, my studio was New Kingston. My studio was the waterfront. My studio was up in the hills. My studio was, everywhere. There's no place in Kingston that I don't use as a location, can tell you that. I explore every place. So sometimes when I'm driving, back in them days, and I think I have a 3D view of, a three-dimensional perspective. So when I look at something, I don't look at one-dimensional. I see angles. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I will pass that spot and I look over this and I say, I see an angle across. You understand? I shoot. So that really was what really kind of drove us, back in the days. The danger with that was that if the artist didn't come through with his part of the bargain in terms of finding the right people and da, we just have to just do something on the spot because there's no turning back. You can't say, well, we'll put stuff till tomorrow. Because I'm sure if I can get a camera tomorrow. Mm-hmm. You understand? So a lot of times it was spontaneous, but aesthetically it was just capturing lifestyles.
That's back to that word, massive word there in the context of dancehall, lifestyle and life and style, if you break that word up. Take us to the 1990s, Casa.
Well, I have a little bit of the 80s as well, where, we go out there and we didn't plan for the rain. It's raining, then the rain become a part of the video. And then we also, in that 100 video that you mentioned, 100 music video that I've done, you can see my going to film school in that, okay? Case in point, mad sick head no good, right? Meaning that I am trying things. I'm trying things and it may not come off in this one, but I catch it in the next one, right? And sometimes we go out there, I'm so passionate about the song, same thing. I'm passionate about the song and I know somebody who know you and I say, yo, let's make that. And we do it, there's no budget or anything. But what happened now in the 90s, we have the MTV, right? And I'm a proud Jamaican, right? Or a proud person of this side of the hemisphere and family of the African, right? So what happened now is we have MTV and I see these music videos and then I feel like, well, these guys are more than we. My ancestors made the pyramid. My ancestors made these other people too. So we can do that. So I look at the American videos and I took out their content and I applied their cinematography. And then now, luckily for me, being a 70s child, I took the grassroots things them now. That's where I went for music video. I didn't try to look like Florida. As a matter of fact, I think Florida is boring. But I took my wheel and wire and I took every single corner downtown Kingston. The gallery is the only place I haven't shot in. Did I ever shoot in here? I shot everywhere downtown Kingston, and I take that grassroots culture when I know as a child going to the market, and when I see Unodo, and I make sure I mix that with the cinematography from America, and then boom. Because so my thing was, we want to give these work visa now so them can travel. So before you move on, is what happened is Elephant Man would have a song, and the song released in Jamaica, and he make a local music video. And then when the song blew up in America, then bring in the foreigners to shoot over the video. I end that. I was like, no, we're going to shoot it here, and they're going to accept it over there. And I never stop until we get that. Shot locally here, local crew, everybody, boom, it's on MTV. You see what I'm saying?
Fantastic. And I can tell you, you became distinctive for that kind of energy being put in the work.
But I just want to tell you though, if it wasn't for, yo, Regine, like we never even talked about that General Trees video. That is beyond iconic. Beyond. And that's all I do. I give thanks to them. This is why I insist, like, if he's not here, I'm not here. You know what I'm saying? Because when you talk about the culture in its realest, rawest form, I mean, my peers would say, oh, what is he going to do? Shoot downtown? He's going to shoot another ghetto video. But you know what? When those videos get visa and they travel, there is nothing in America or England or Canada that look like that. So it stand out, and that was my aim. I was in competition with the Little X and the, not even Little X just a come, but the Hype Williams and these people, I was in competition with them to say, all right, you did that, we don't have that budget, but I'm going to give you something you've never seen before.
And I mean, let's talk about the kind of aesthetic differences then. You've talked about using the local context and making sure that we were depicting ourselves and our own spaces, because of course dancehall is distinctive in and of itself. It is about a space, it's about a certain kind of sound. So with those elements, inside of that music video, what were some of the aesthetic qualities then? Is that just cinematography choices?
All right.
Yes, Garth?
Okay, so getting into this business, I consumed a lot of what this man did, Mr.
Leo
Origio. Because, girl, I call my name from over the ocean, camera stays so. And then it just cut at the girl whining, just like that. I'm in TV and TV land going, okay, I'm over the ocean. But that's the thing. The aesthetic actually is related to what the artist is saying. The words lay the foundation, the DNA. The aesthetic comes from, well, it was out of convenience. But then, what am I trying to say? Because I could say, girl, I call my name from over the ocean, and I could have somebody on the phone. But does that translate the energy? Girl, I call my name from over the ocean. No. Because if I talk to a girl and I tell her I call her from over the ocean, I go, hey, Stanley. Yo, Stanley. No, it's two different things. So the camera, one of the things that I focus on in my work is the cinematography and the content, because I learned from both of them, right? I understand that the camera has to show what exactly that I want to show, and I have to show it in such a way that whatever person who sees it, they get the idea that's here. Because all the process that we take in getting the idea, putting the concept together and go and shoot it, it happens all up here. So what is up here? So I have to translate that.
It begins with the imagination.
So it begins with imagination. When in Welcome to Jam Rock, when the girl stays so, girl, I call my name from over the ocean. She stay like that. it is reminiscent of the dance hall. That was a space that I wasn't privy to as a young, no. Church me go. Me no know that. So when you turn on the TV, TV when you turn on.
Yes, we remember
right.
this.
So I had to understand that when I'm watching it now, it's almost the time I'm watching porn and my parents don't know because I'm watching the TV, I'm going, oh, Zine. So when I saw Big Daddy did that, when I saw the girls, it's a mate, she's a mate, and I'm on Shaka D. That's a bar. I've never been to a bar. So what I was taken to is I was transported to a lifestyle that I wasn't privy to. And then I translate back that into my work. Cinematography, lifestyle, and then also the product. So it's all three that is blended and what I even put into my work also.
I just want to add something.
Yes, Leo.
In terms of the transition from the 80s to the 90s, in the 80s, most of the videos, as I said, were drama oriented because the songs were all about stories and that. Where the change came in the 90s now was with Kevin Lee. Kevin Lee did a song, a video. Is Impossible Training name?
Yes. Yeah, man.
Music video.
Innocent Crew.
Music video took a turn right there, so.
Yeah.
Because while I was telling stories with actors and the artists them playing it out and the people acting and carrying on, Kevin came with a whole heap of effects.
Yeah.
A lot of effects were in that song, and it changed right there. So, and I think it changed because the songs changed too.
Yes.
The songs, the words in the songs, the lyrics were more, I don't want to say gimmicky, but more fun. It was still fun, but it was a different kind of fun.
Light, not as serious and as storytelling.
Like really serious and I don't think really. I don't say Jamaican. It was Jamaican because they are Jamaican. But that's where it changed. That's where how videos were done changed. A lot more effects. And again, it has to do with technology because then they started having equipment that, because when I was editing, I wasn't editing non-linear, I was editing linear.
Yeah.
What we call A-B roll. You have two machines. That if you make a mistake, that gone.
So there are parallels that we can draw in terms of the direction of the music production in Jamaica and in just the technology that was available by the time you move from analog to digital, right?
I want to tell you something,
And the same for music videos, in a sense. We're talking about the technological shifts and the ways in which those effects that Kevin Lee, for example, shaped the new sphere of music video
we
production.
were still doing some primitive things even that time because that same music video, man, I don't know what we don't try. We take stocking and we stretch it over the lens. So here's the deal. First of all, I must say, big up my teacher, Trevor Bailey. I think Trevor Bailey at 93 East Street and the back of the office was Johns Lane and Beeson Street. And down there was the Motown of videos in Jamaica. So what happened is nobody go home. We stay there. We live there. So we eat, we cook, we argue, we fight, we play ball, we girlfriends come check we, and more girlfriends come check we, and more girlfriends come check we, right? And what happened is we have the cameras and the things right there. We try everything. We put stocking over it. We get the file paper and then we spray paint it.
Those are all your effects now.
Right, and then obviously we didn't invent this, but we put this coming from your time. We put the Vaseline on the side of the lens to get that Jimmy. We try everything with our hands and our brains. And then the next thing too is the camera. We try to use our physical body to create effect with the camera. And I did that recently with you. We did a music video. We were just helping out a bridge in Courtney John. And I just go for the oldest camera I could find. And we just, the budget was what? Like a bulb? Yeah. And I buy a red bulb.
2 can water.
Yeah. And he's swinging the bulb like this and I'm shaking the camera like this. And that was the effect. And that was in 2000 and something.
2010.
2010.
Yeah. So we still use that.
There's still innovation that's happening in the context of the ways in which we manipulate the equipment.
Actually, without innovation, you don't have creativity.
Your body have to be involved.
The thing is, Jamaica is not a first world country. We can't go to the next store and pick up a 16 millimeter camera and go and shoot it and buy more film. No, it's one time. So when you hear Mr. Regis said that there's no going back, there's no going back. So the thing is that we had to make it work right then and there. So if it is that if you're not innovating and not being creative, and Jamaica forces you to use what it is that you have. So if it is that it's just a GoPro in 2022 that you have, then you just walk around with the GoPro and you try and create an idea. Kevin Lee is one of those persons who made those weird type of look. It's some lightning going through and you're wondering where him get that from. So it's those things that even told me as a upcoming director that I had to continue. It doesn't stop. And even technology changes, the innovation have to follow right back at you.
That's right.
But I want to say this to you, I'm sorry, but the 1 hour is not going to work. I'm here to tell you that right now. You see, here's the deal, right? It's not just technology, because I see a problem where they're just relying on technology and they feel like, I call it that dummy button, that red button, you press it. We're coming from a time when we have to use tape measure and measure because we're shooting on film. No, I'm fortunate enough to shoot quite a few music videos on 35 millimeter, 16 millimeter, and Super 16. But when we shot Welcome to Jamrock,
iconic video.
I apply, and this is why I said to the students when I used to lecture at the university as well, learn everything, because you're going to use it one day. So when I met with Chris and I said, Chris, this is what I want from you. I want you to place your feet on the ground, do not move it. Because the bass line in the song is boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boom. So I don't want you to move your feet and move. I just want you to stay and you apply Tai Chi. So the subject is there. Boom, 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 boom. Stop. Boom, boom, boom. Stop. Because I know I'm going to cut that.
I hope all the people viewing who are aspiring video directors are taking notes.
Serious.
Because there are some gems being laid out here for you. So we've been talking about first world, budget, and we know that those are some differences in the kind of spaces we're occupying to produce music videos. But what are some of the major differences, you would say, between videos produced in Jamaica versus those that are not produced in Jamaica, or non-Jamaican, or the Jamaican directorship versus the non-Jamaican directorship?
They just have a budget, and fortunately for let's say America then, right? It's an industry over there. Look, I'm not this hating on America thing. I absolutely don't join that bandwagon. I don't do it. Because in Europe, filmmaking is still not seen as, it's still seen as, okay. But America, yes, Nigeria now and so on, and but I'm saying America is that place, and it's respected as an art and it's an industry. I remember when I wrote for Little Wayne featuring Birdman or somebody, and my rep at the time said, oh, they only have 200,000 US. They don't have a budget. I was like, what? What, dude? Back home, hey, what are you talking about? 200,000? That's big. But back then, he was like, no, they have more money than that. They can do better than that. We're not going to do it. That's not a budget. So, but out here, the artist, here's the situation. Male artist, him want to change 10 times, see him friend, this is my time, I talk now. And see him friend them in there, and them have some cup with something where them drinking, right? For the female now, They spend all of the money on dressing up these girls. You can see the makeup is overdone. She changed 50 times. The hair, the this, the that, and then the concept is just flat. You know? But what I'm saying in terms of budget, that's all. They have the budget. They have the budget, and of course it's an industry over there because they're doing it way longer. But you give me that budget, and I'm going to use this time to plug something. I think that camera, I think the government of Jamaica should have a lifetime agreement with me to do all of the tourist board ads and keep the money in Jamaica, because we can do it. We can do it.
I want to endorse that.
Yes.
I want to endorse that.
Come on,
I don't see why it is we can't. I want to endorse that. Yeah, I definitely want to endorse that. And we have some precedent. Usain Bolt says to people who want to film him, come to Jamaica.
Usain Bolt done more for the film industry, and I'm just going to leave it right there. I'm not going to call anybody name because I'm a good guy today. So he has done more.
You're always a good guy, Casa.
Yeah, I'm a good guy today. Yeah, I'm not on a political move right now, but he has done more for the film industry. Because just what you said right there,
yes,
that was so huge.
Making a statement about
even
valuing
right
the creative work that can happen in Jamaica. That's all that we need to do.
And ads that don't have nothing to do with Jamaica now.
And talk about creative work.
Yes.
We are.
Before you're going further,
Yes.
I just want to say something else. Because I have a problem with this America thing and following the American model, Hollywood model. I have a big problem with that. Because that is why Jamaica don't reach anywhere with a film industry. Because we have not created our own identity in terms of filmmaking, right? In the 80s, when we were just starting, we used to have a kind of guerrilla style of doing things. But we work with what we have, and then we just synthesize around that.
Because it's really not about the budget.
No, it's not about the budget. I mean, it's about the budget in certain things.
Yes.
I'm talking about now from the roots of this thing. The beginning, right? When we started doing this, we didn't work with a budget. We just work with creative ideas, innovation, as you talk about, working with what we have and creating a kind of way that we do things. What I find happen now is that since them times, what you have now is that everybody wants to be like the Americans and do it like the Americans, which is impossible. It is impossible to do it like them, but we can do it our way.
That's right.
If we were focusing on our way and,
who we are.
Yeah, and, just kind of working with our own
and to mine our own
lifestyle
gold
thing.
in terms of creativity here. I find that that's one of the things that we don't do a lot.
Yeah, but
we
you
can
see what
mine our own creativity.
Well, listen, when somebody doing a video, especially since the 90s and so, because after a while, when I was doing videos, the record labels came in and we started doing stuff for them. Jammies, Scorpio, all of them, right? But we did it the way that we wanted to do it, And we never come and say, what's the budget? And we'll come out with a crew with a truck full of equipment and all them something. That is where I think we lost our way, because we started looking at the budget rather than the concept and the way of doing it. You understand? Because, the government have a lot to do with it still, because if we were training, the reason why we could do certain things is because we had an understanding of certain techniques. Because once you have the techniques, you can make a $1 million movie. Them used to call me the low budget king, You know why? Because I take nothing and give them some good works. Them feel like when you tell them, I have a budget for this. But as I say, it's a synergy. If we were working with the artists and the record labels and the government, then we could have created a kind of way that we do things.
So let me ask you something now. In the context of music video production in Jamaica, is there like a guild, an association? I already know the answer to this, but I'm asking the question to provoke some kind of conversation about what kind of, unity exists among those who are able to share information, teach, develop, and talk about narrative styles and aesthetics and so on.
Yeah, but that's the problem. We never reach that stage.
So when we are going to reach there?
That's a good question. We never reached that stage where all the parties came together. What happened is that, all right, it's when this thing starts, it's me, Trevor Bailey, Jonah Beckford, Becky, right? Other people were there, but I'm talking about who were prolific in terms of doing a body of work in the 80s, right? And I never maintained a body, meaning that like I take a youth and say, but guess what? We used to give a lot of youth opportunity. I like cameramen who were at GIS and them working every day, but them want a chance for bus out. I call them in, right? So these are things I'm talking about, working with what we have and developing a way of doing, the productions.
No,
we lost our way with that.
Yeah, and I want to push for, and I know you all teach in your own various capacities, but I certainly want to make a statement and a push for being able to give back in a way that there is some kind of association. It doesn't necessarily need to be formal, but even at an informal level.
Well, we have it at a...
We're talking about industries here.
Yeah, we have it in an informal way, and I'm talking from, say, me. All right, so Trevor Bailey gave me the opportunity to create. And on that road right there, I can tell you how much youths who used to fire a gun and how much was about to start firing guns. Mm-hmm. And we said, come here, and we'll put them in a video. Nadia Rose, female director. So? We went to the beach, just like Leo style, and we're on the beach and we're just shooting and we see her and we say, come in the video. No, she's a big top director. And we keep passing that thing on and on. There is so much people that is in the film industry and they have family, they have bar. Big up yourself, Wormy. Yeah, Wormy having bar and him thing, and you can't make a move without Wormy on set. You understand what I'm saying? I can't make a move without, say, Ezra on set. And the list go on, and I met Gart, and Gart being through a lot of different people's hands in terms of giving him an opportunity, you'd say, right? So it happened in that kind of way, and then, but my vibe now, it come with a philosophy as well. It come with a big brother vibe, because I come from the old school. I have to separate myself a little bit, Gart. It's long reasoning, and when I used to teach at the university, when all the students in there waiting for me, it's very dramatic, but I usually do this. I have them sitting first, then I bust through the door and I say, okay, why are you here? Why are you here? Why are you here? And then the individual, I want to make a film. No. Think about it. Why are you here? Why are you here? So it's a master class, it's an inspirational class, it's a get to know yourself before you want to make a film, before you want to make a music video. Mm-hmm. Get to know yourself. Understand the history, understand how we express yourself. Because as him said earlier, woman call my name all over the ocean. You're not going to go, say woman call my name all over the ocean. You're going to go, yo, the girl call my name all over the ocean, So for me, how I practice directing, I went downtown and sit by the bus terminus and I watch the people how they act. And I just copy and paste that. So when I meet an actor, when we did that MTV movie, I was like, listen, keep your theater for when you're doing theater, because actors do theater. That's why our face look like this. To come back to your point by finding our identity. So in a Jamaican film, you see this rude boy. Let me tell you this. No rude boy. I know don't speak like that. They're easy on them. Rude boy, come here. I want to talk to you. And I'm easy. You know what I'm saying? But because of theater, and the people all the way at the back, you have to, don't say that my name. We don't need that. We just say, yo, rude boy, where are you? So no, I try to answer what you said. I try to find our way.
So we're talking here about authenticity.
Yes.
that in the context of video production, music video production in Jamaica, one of the things that we have had to do is to understand our identity and be our authentic selves.
And I don't mean to hug it
Yes.
and cut you, but I have to say this before I forget, I'm getting old. Let me tell you something. When I came on this scene, my whole thing is to, I don't want to say brand Jamaica because it sounds like some politician doing the rounds, you know? But I took everything that I saw, including his work and what I remember as a child, and I just copy and paste it and I put it out there. I never, ever, ever want to look like a hip-hop video or look like we're somewhere in Florida. I denounce that. My peers talk I can say shit, right? They talk shit about me because I am shooting in the streets of Parade. I am shooting in Tivoli Garden. And where that come from? I said, if Brazil and the rest of the world romanticize the favela, why can't I romanticize our zinc fence?
That is correct. That is
You know
correct.
what I mean?
And on that note, I want to ask our very final question,
What?
which has to do with this concept of the narrative style and aesthetics again. So what are the styles that have been produced or developed locally in terms of music video production that we want to highlight?
All right, so you've heard two different directors tell you what has coming up from the 80s, the 90s to the 2000s. If you're asking in terms of generally, which it's more specific to Jamaica, I would, what I would say is that it's a style based upon different things. One of the main ones right now in 2022 is that there's a documentary type of style. But it's a documentary type of style where journalism has now turned its head upside down. It's no longer a news reporter coming into the inner city to report on what's going on. Mm-hmm. It's Jashi coming to tell you exactly what going on.
Absolutely.
So the director style is now, it is changed more to documentary, but it's very gritty. But you could see that transition coming from Mr. Origia's work. You can see that transition coming from Casa's work. So that is one of the main styles. Another style, which is actually quite indicative of what is happening in America, is a type of neo, what I would call it, there's a pop. It's a pop style. Bright colors, mm-hmm. Cuts are very fast, mm-hmm. Looks are very, like this.
Sharp and cheap?
Right, and it's very modelly.
He's an actor, you know.
But the thing is,
he's definitely an actor.
So it's also part of a different background. Social media has become one of the main
drivers.
Mm-hmm. So if I'm making a music video nowadays, then the lights, the camera, and the movement have to be in tune with what I'm going to take with my phone and go, oh, wow, and follow. So you have that pop style, you have the documentary style, and then you have another style is what I would say I got from Kevin Lee and Rascasa, which is the conceptual style, where you're no longer looking at an idea chronologically. You're now taking, okay, somebody's head, the head is over here, the body is over here, the head is talking, the hand is not, the body is just going like this. Okay, so why separating the head from the body? I'm asking the viewer to think about the song and to think about what they're seeing. Mm-hmm. Oh, I have a happy day. My happy day is today. Oh, it's a happy day. The head is over there, the body is over here. Why? So there's those three different styles are different styles. You see, especially in dancehall, the new dancehall music. Because yesterday I was traveling in a Reddy's Road taxi, and when the song started, it wasn't drum and bass I first heard. It's synthesizers I heard. And then you heard the artist comes in. Comment, Remy Tanga run it. come deep now because it's coming from Shaba. It's coming from Buju. So when Mr. Orija said that the stories were in the music and the story drove the music video, today exactly that is what is driving a lot of these music videos, and those styles are actually being driven by what is being said in these different songs, right? So those three styles is one, I would say one of the main, there's those three styles.
Those are the main
ones, I would say right now.
So Kevin, thank you so much. Hear me talking about Kevin. Kevin Lee's not here. He's probably watching though.
Well, big up Kevin Lee. Big up the
all
South of China.
Big up all of the video producers and directors out there.
Yeah, man.
So, I want to thank you, Garth, for breaking that down for us. And now I am left only to ask each of you for any closing remarks, any last words you want to leave with our audience.
I'm going to take this one first.
Take this, yes, go on.
As a young, because I teach at the university, and I was given a baton from Asa, from Rastingle, Asha, and etc. And I had to pass it on. The students that, for example, that were under my tutelage, they're also continuing. There's a lot of persons that in Jamaica that they have no direction. They don't know what it is they want to do in life, and they don't know where to go. And a lot of their purpose can be found in this industry. And what we need to do in Jamaica is to make this industry structured and give it body. Top, middle, so that it can move from beyond a bread and butter issue, because it is still a bread and butter issue. And I would tell any student, try. I would tell anybody who is out there, try. So that is just my
And you have your cell phones. Let me just tell you, the technology has changed. It has been democratized. Many persons, even with a cell phone, can make movies, can make music videos. Try. I like that, Garth. Try. Leo?
I like that note, the democratization of video or video making. I don't deal with styles. Styles to me, those are just labels. I did expressions. And I think we need to find a way to express ourselves without following styles. Meaning that if we want to have a sustainable industry, we need to find a way that everyone has access. Technically, they have access because they say they have a smartphone and all that. But listen, if somebody comes to you and says, I want to do something, right? And then you can start talk about, you need a truckload of equipment and all them things there. We need to get away from that. We need to find ways of manifesting this expression of whatever you see. Find ways to do it without thinking about just budgets and stuff like that. And I want the young people to really kind of understand that. You need to first think about how you can manifest that expression before you start talking about budget and all that. Because there's lots of stuff you can do without a big budget. Don't think about budget.
And we're not saying that the money is not important, and we're not saying that the budget is not important. What we're saying is sort out your imagination and your innovation and your creativity.
Incorporate everyone around you, the people.
And yes,
everybody.
Before you even begin to start to harass about a budget. Casa?
Well, you said message to people out in the world, right?
Yeah.
All right. So
last words.
Great. Well, these guys talk to the people that is coming up, the children that is coming up who want to direct. I want to talk to corporate Jamaica and say this. I'm not begging you anything. I'm not asking you to do anything more than simply this. Let's say like these phone companies and these alcohol companies. You have your marketing directors, you have your people that work with your company. Look, stop getting in the way of the creative people. stop it. You're squeezing the life, the soul out of it. And any kind of creation that don't have any spirit in it, any soul in it, is just empty.
It's not going
so
anywhere.
Please do us a favor. I need Jamaica to understand that art is not just painting. Yes, it starts there, right? It starts there. But I want my industry to get some respect. So when you call these younger people, because I'm definitely not interested in it anymore, unless I'm going to have it my way. And these agency, stop copying these American ads, right? Stop copying the people them concept and giving these young directors these concept to direct and then put them in a situation where it don't come out the way it's supposed to be. Stop having your marketing director, this is his or her only time where they have power, so they're telling you. I remember, I have to tell this real quick, speed it up. I remember one of our brethren shooting a commercial for one of these phone company, and because their company color is red, they're in a classroom, and the kids are throwing paper at each other, and could you believe, you ready for this? That company marketing person said they can't throw white paper. They have to throw red paper. When kids are throwing paper, they're ripping the paper out of their books and they're throwing it at each other and making a paper plane. These people said, no, the paper have to be red. And I was like, if that was my shoot, I would give them the middle finger and get the hell out. Because that is complete garbage. So I'm just asking them, please, step to the side and let the creative people create so our ads can look good and we can compete with the rest of the world. Please. Thank you very much.
And on that note, I want you all to tell the viewers where you can be found. Tell us your social media handles.
I don't want to be found.
He's at Rascasa on Instagram. You hear?
Yeah, no. I'm not. Seriously, I don't, because, it's like when you're all over the place, if you drink too much water, as the great Denzel Washington say, drink too much water, you're going to drown. I don't want to be found.
No,
honestly.
but
I'm sorry. I'm not going against
even
you, but
just your work. No, you're not going against it.
No,
I already
post my
told
work.
people where to find you.
I move on to another.
The fact is that these are people who you can learn from. And some of what is online, you can find them online. And I just want, Leo, I don't think you're on Instagram. We're actually live on Instagram here. YouTube, yes, you've been posting quite a lot of your archive now online. So you can find Leo Origio, Big Daddy, videos online. Garth, what about you?
Ley, that's Instagram. Or I usually just tell people, just at garthdaily@gmail.com, email me.
Fantastic.
Or on YouTube also.
YouTube, fantastic. So it has been my absolute pleasure being with you this afternoon. Of course, we remind you, this event has been done in association with the Jamaica Music Exhibition at the National Gallery. We are here in the home of the National Gallery. And this is such a fantastic place to be. The art collection, if you have not seen it, please do come down. The Jamaica Music Exhibition is going to be up until the 28th of February. And you definitely want to come and see this exhibition. I am left only to thank our panelists, Leo Origio, Rascasa, and Garth Daly. A wealth of knowledge shared here with you today. And I am just over elated because guess what? You all know me as a culture doctor. Culture is my thing. I am a student of culture. Music videos, I grew up on them. And I was pleased to be asked to moderate this session today. Thank you very much for joining us. See you next time.
Thank you so much, Culture Doctor. I have some things that I'd like to add too. So let me begin. Well, viewers, thank you first and foremost for tuning in to our YouTube and Instagram channels for this really exciting and enlightening discussion. I also want to give some thanks to Set It, who are the ones who are helping us stream to you today. Thank you so much, Sershen and Ian, for being here today. The culture doctor mentioned before that this event is being organized in association with the Jamaica exhibition. And I want to, on the note of that, thank the curators of the exhibition, Sebastian Carriol, who was the conceptualizer of the original show that was done in Paris in 2017, Dr. Herbie Miller, the director of the Jamaica Music Museum, which is one of the collaborating institutions behind this show, alongside the Ministry of Culture, Gender, Entertainment, and Sport, and also our chief curator, O'Neill Lawrence, who was in charge of the exhibition design and who continues to lead in terms of the curatorial as well as programming vision behind this show. Last and, well, even before I get there, to all the hardworking NGJ team, big up always and forever to you guys. You know, some love, you know. And us, especially I want to big up our new acting senior director, Roxanne Silent, who has been sitting off camera, taking in everything. I also want to give a quick big up to the culture doctor's mother, who is also here. Big up, mommy. And last and most importantly, deep, deep thanks to the four of you. Leo Riggio, Rascasa, Garth Daly, Culture Doctor, thank you so much for the discussion that you made us privy to today. I don't think anybody has ever really witnessed something quite like this, and I am so sorry we don't have a live audience. There were so many people who wanted to come and see this live, and so I really hope that we were able to do some justice to the gems that came out of this conversation through this online platform. But you're big up on yourself, and thank you so much for coming down here as we... Right. So as we are wrapping, you do so. Anyway. All right. So I'm going to wrap up now. The Jamaica exhibition is going to be on until February 28th. Please make your way down here. Do have a good afternoon and big up on yourselves. Take care.
It just occurred to me. How do you pick up yourself? You look in the mirror and say, I am great. How do you?